Hello.
How's it going?
Good. Really good. How are you doing over there?
I'm good. I'm really excited because you are on Pure Country all across Canada. So we are stretching from one side to the other. And I know Canada is crazy about Ashley McBryde. So how are you dealing with this crazy time at home? Because all of us in Canada are right there with you.
I have never been home this many days in a row. I don't think in the last 4 or 5 years have I been home in any space for this many days in a row. So I did the initial thing was lay on the couch all day, every day and binge Netflix. And then finally I got up off my butt and started doing things that I forgot I liked to do. I'm not the best cook in the world, but I am pretty good at it and I enjoy it. And then I like to make candles. There's something crafty you can do. You might forget that you like to color or you are pretty good at drawing. My wardrobe stylist is painting again, and she hasn't painted in years. So there's anything like that you can just kind of fall back in love with.
And had you ever, because I've been loving watching your, candle making and baking, which is my favorite thing, because I am not a good baker, but you're inspiring me to want to get my mom's old mixer and start baking again. So have you always baked, or is this a new thing that you're just getting into?
Yeah, when I was younger, Mom and my sister, they had the cooking part really taken care of. And they were both really talented bakers. So that was the first thing I wanted to learn from them. And my mom's sisters were the same way. So while I was behind on how to make a great gravy, it's because I was over here perfecting my mom's icing. And so this really has been a rediscovery for me because I didn't have to look the recipe up. It was so nice. I called Mom and said, "Is this the recipe for the icing?" And she said, "Yes." Then I messed it up a little bit, and I called my sister, and I'm like, "Is this how I fixed the mistake?" And she was like, "Yes, you just add some more of this." I'm like, "Yes, I have made cake."
That's amazing. I'm getting good at the cooking thing during this time, but the baking, I still need some work. So you're inspiring me. I got my mom to send me recipes the other day because I was like, Ashley McBryde's doing it, so I need to do it.
It's a blast. You'll love it.
And then the candle making. So did you have to look that up and teach yourself how to do it, or did you have a friend that told you how to get that done?
When I was living, I've been living in Watertown for a few years, and it's way out there. Like there's nothing around. So I was trying to find something besides leather tooling, which I had been doing. And it was the time of year where it wasn't very conducive to walking down to the barn. It was too cold to be sitting down there. So I thought, what else can I do that's useful? So I just looked up how to make candles, and it's really easy to get the supplies. It's really not a complicated process, but it is super soothing.
Nice.
For some reason, just watching the wax melt, let the temperature rise to 185 degrees, and then, selecting a scent and a color. And it can be kind of maddening when the wick does not stay where you want it to stay. But so far, it's just been really soothing. And my house smells phenomenal.
Yeah, I was going to say, your house must smell amazing right now. I want to congratulate you because I talked to you before the album came out, Never Will, but I didn't get to talk to you after. So now we get to catch up. So what is it like for you? I mean, I've seen so many people talking about this record, and I mean, Terry Clark being one of them, which I think is so cool. I mean, what's it like to see people not only listening to it and that they're listening to it, but also promoting it and telling the world that, hey, you got to check out this record?
It's been really nice because, normally we would be out there playing the shows and promoting the record with our boots on the ground and giving handshakes and making a difference in that way. And, right now the only way to do that is to live stream and invite people into my home and try to interact in that way. So when people like Terry and Brandy Clark, use their voice to say this record is worthwhile, that it's really helpful, and it's really kind of a humbling thing too, to go, two people I look up to so much think you should get my record.
Yeah. Two super cool people that I think you guys need to do some sort of collaboration together.
Absolutely, we do.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good idea. I was thinking about that when I saw Terry had posted, Brandy had posted, and they were posting about your stuff and Brandy's album. And I was like, man, those three ladies, they got to work together.
Oh, yeah.
So on the album, you have 11 tracks, and two of them, so Shut Up Sheila, Martha Divine. Now, I know you are definitely a truth teller. You write things that that you've lived, that you've experienced. So are these real names that you're using in reference to people in your life that you've crossed paths with?
When it comes to Sheila, she is a real person. Nicolette Hayford and Part Chisholm wrote that song. And not only is Sheila a real person, but she bought the record on album release day and had no idea there was a song called Shut Up, Sheila. So I cannot imagine the look on her face when she realized, oh my gosh, this song is about me. Yeah, I'm sure she was offended. But and then Martha Divine, my mom's name is Martha.
Okay.
And she's always wanted to be in a song. And she was not very pleased that the song was about a tramp. But the name Martha Divine in combination came from an old, like an old wives' tale around Glasgow, Kentucky. And I was the writer that I was writing with, he said this name in passing, said Martha Divine. And that's so much fun to sing, whether you sing divine or divine. Now we got to make up a story. And that person that I named Martha Divine was a real person, but her name was Bobby.
Okay.
And she wound up eventually marrying my dad. But at the time when I first knew her, this song was just kind of a dark, humorous look at how this played out in my mind.
Wow. Okay. See, I figured, I was like, I guarantee that those names have to do with somebody that Ashley knows.
Absolutely.
So I've talked to you about this a couple times when I saw you at Boots and then CRS, and we've talked about the women in country thing and the progression and the positive move forward it's been making. But what's it like for you to see two female artists who are also on your Warner Music Nashville label family, Ingrid Andress and Gabby Barrett, getting #1 songs 2 weeks in a row with debut singles?
I think it's so cool. And I'm a huge fan of both gals. And Ingrid is just amazing. And Gabby, I've had the good fortune to play a couple of shows with her, like guitar pulls and things on the road. And she's just an absolute sweetheart of a person and pipes for days. So to see two gals within my Warner family get #1 is awesome. And a lot of times, when you put a bunch of women in the same room together, they get kind of catty. And I had been at Warner for a lot. I mean, when Gabby signed, she was even on my same promotions team. And I was worried that she might think that since we were on the same team that we weren't going to be friends. So I called one of my reps and I said, please let Gabby know this weekend that if she's on my team, she's on my team and I'm on her team. And then I got to see her the next weekend down in Florida for a show and asked her to come on the bus. I said, I want you to see my face and know that I support you and I support your music in every way. Welcome to the family. I think it's a good time to be supporting each other so loudly like that. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's the kind of stuff that, women, I love seeing women do that. And I've had that happen to me in my workplace where, if somebody doesn't make that step forward, sometimes you can make assumptions and think something that's totally untrue. So when somebody reaches out and says, hey, I've got your back, it's a good feeling, not only for, Gabby, but also for you too.
Yeah. And this last fest, we were playing at the Ascend Amphitheater, and it was the first time I would ever see Ingrid face to face. We had some downtime, so the band and I were playing flip cup. I mean, right there on the back of the stage. There was just a whole bunch of space back there. And that was how I introduced myself to her. I was like, come play flip cup with me, And I was like, hey, you don't know me. And sometimes I can be a little aggressive when it comes to a salutation. But I'm Ashley, and I'm excited to be playing a show with you. And, the favor gets returned to me, too, with Terry and Miranda and Brandy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so last thing I want to talk to you about, well, actually two things. So the album has 11 tracks on it, and I know you write a lot and you write from, the heart. So did you have a ton of songs for this album?
Oh, a ton is probably the best way to say that. I think we started out with 60 or 70 something to dwindle down.
Wow.
We had to get that down to about 30. And then once we got it down to 30, we know we only have time to really rehearse probably 15. And then by the end of the record, that's going to have to be 11.
Wow. That's a tough process.
It is. And, I thought, every song is your baby and you don't want to have a favorite. I didn't feel like that at all when it came to selecting. It was like celebrity deathmatch. I was just like, no, throw the songs in there and whoever comes out can stay. Like those, as you arrange those songs together as a band and rehearse them because we just get together and put, all they get is an iPhone work tape, my voice and my guitar. And then we sit there in this little garage and we build the songs up the way we want them to sound. And you'll have one that you really love, and then you'll have another one that you really love, but you think you like this other one better. Then you go, okay, that one falls off.
Wow.
You have been voted off the island. And then you go to the next set and just go, okay, that one's not holding its ground up against these other three. So it's a fun process.
I was going to say, it kind of sounds like Song Survivor, which I guess it is.
It is. It's like watching a gladiator match, only it's songs that you made up.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, That's the only thing that I wish, is that I could hear all the songs that didn't make the album, because I feel like there's probably so many good ones in there.
There are some gems, yeah. And we're trying to decide right now, a couple of bandmates and I are trying to decide if we should collect all of those and go ahead and put them down somewhere so that we don't forget what gems we had.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I like that idea. And last thing I want to ask, just because, not only do I like seeing your baking and your candle making on your socials, but your dog is quite adorable. So how is he holding up during this strange time? Loving mom at home more?
He absolutely adores it. And it's going to sound sad. This is the most time I've ever gotten to spend with him because, you pretty much, if you have an animal and you're touring, you are sharing that animal with someone else.
Yeah.
Because half of the time that someone else is going to have him. And so he's here with me all day and all night. And we have developed this adorable little routine where he gets up out of the floor right early in the morning, about 4:30, gets in the bed. And then once the sun comes up, he gets back in the floor, comes over to my side of the bed and sticks his big, giant, cold, wet nose on my face. And he just leaves it sitting there because he has to potty and he needed me to know. And it's so cute. And I just wake up and say, who's my best friend? And it's just it's a really, really nice thing. And we've had the ability to work on sit and stay and things that needed some practice. And he has stolen the show on every live stream.
Yeah. I mean, he is honestly so cute. My favorite, though, is when he lays on his back with his legs up in the air, just frozen.
The dude, are you okay pose.
The dude, are you okay pose. Yeah, I'm like, that is a gem. I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this. Congratulations on the album. And, obviously we'll listen to it on vinyl while we're stuck at home, but we cannot wait to have you back out on the road in Canada.
Cannot wait to get back up.
All right. Have a good day, Ashley.
You too. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.